I think first week was quite hectic for India. India was under tremendous pressure, both on the issue of coal as well as India was portrayed as a villain at the climate conference by the Western media. So it was tough for India, but I think both the civil society as well as the government came together to bring out the facts and put the issue in perspective. So the first week for India was all right. The second week is going to be really challenging because it is in interest of India to get both an equitable as well as an ambitious deal. So second week is going to be quite challenging. As far as climate conference is concerned, we now have a text which is a 48-page text which has come out after the deliberations of the first week. The fact is that everything in most of the things in the 48-page text is bracketed, which means that there aren't much agreement between parties. Developed countries and developing countries have divergent views on almost all issues, whether it is related to finance, technology, mitigation, adaptation, all the elements that countries are discussing here at Paris. There are major differences. Now the challenge is how do we resolve these differences in the coming few days, because time is limited. We are only looking at next 3 to 4 days when we can resolve these issues and come out with a proper agreement at Paris. See, that perception of India being a blocker, India being a villain to the climate change agreement was largely a tactical move by developed countries to corner India. India is a vocal negotiator. It is a tough negotiator here at Paris. It wants a lot of the convention which was written in 1992 to get reflected here at the Paris Agreement. So I believe that was a tactics by developed countries, and they have used their media smartly to corner India. But I think Indian civil society and Indian government recognized this tactics early on, and we were able to overcome some of these negative perception being created for India. But as I said, that perception is still there. Developed countries are still putting out information which is not the correct picture of India's position on climate change, and we will have to continue working in the second week as well. So differentiation is very, very important. There is a big push from developed countries to dilute differentiation in all elements. In mitigation, I believe that differentiation has already been diluted significantly, because now we have a bottom-up regime of intended nationally determined contributions in which developed and developing countries are so-called self-differentiated. So on one element they have been able to dilute differentiation. They want to dilute differentiation on finance. They want developing countries to contribute to finance and on other elements as well. I believe that developing countries have to be smart about differentiation. They must recognize the game plan of the developed countries and come out with smart moves, which on one hand keeps the differentiations, but also builds global solidarity around climate change. If we really want to solve climate change, then we will need solidarity and participation and contribution of everyone. So I think, considering these things in mind, developing countries need to have much better strategy to deal with differentiation here at Paris.